And Vice President Vance is back in his home state of Ohio, promoting what he calls the Great American Comeback.
We are 1 year in to raising wages for workers instead of declining wages for workers. We're 1 year in to $18 trillion of new investment for the United States of America instead of investment going to every other country but the United States of America. I think that we are on the cusp of the greatest economic year in the history of the United States of America because we're doing something new for a change. We're investing in you.
The president will hit the road next week to Iowa to get a jump on the upcoming midterms, as a new poll shows Democrats have a 5-point edge heading into November. So what do Republicans need to do to keep both chambers of Congress? Joining me now is Kayleigh McEnany, host of Saturday in America and host of Outnumbered. Always so great to see you. So, as always, it comes down to the economy, stupid, but not just the economy. It's not just economic numbers. It has to be, you have to win the argument about the economy.
100%. Look, Donald Trump has the facts on his side. He has done an extraordinary job on the economy. Now it's about pushing the message. So I just did some counting as we were coming to this. There are 40 weeks between now and the midterms. So think of this as 40 opportunities to push a message each week. Well, this week, Tuesday, we were talking about Greenland. Wednesday, it was Davos. Thursday, it was Jack Smith. And also this picture of the 5-year-old, which you guys have thoroughly explained, the facts, which are on the president's side. But this is a week where affordability was kind of a footnote. But President Trump has the facts. GDP was 4.4% in the third quarter. It was anemic under the Biden years. Inflation is down. Gas prices are down. Mortgages, 30-year fixed, the lowest it has been in a long time. Crime, homicide rates, the lowest they've been since the 1900s. President Trump has had a blockbuster year. Now it's about pushing that message with discipline, every member of the cabinet.
And you have to find, no matter what the topic is, if you're talking about illegal immigration, if that's the story du jour, you make it about the economy, and the administration has to figure out how to take every single one of these crises or whatever and turn it back to the economy.
Because the left-wing media will make a crisis.
Right.
Where none exists, they will make it. That is a guarantee.
Right, absolutely. And the one thing that Republicans, of course, do have on their side is they have a great campaigner. And Susie Wiles saying that President Trump is going to campaign like it's 2024. He's going to behave as though he is on the ballot. So that means some spending. That means a lot of travel. That means a lot of messaging help for candidates that need and want it. This is really crucial. The problem for Trump, when Trump is on the ballot, it's really great for Republicans. The problem for Republicans is that Trump's not on the ballot in 2024 or 2020.
Without question, Trump has a unique coalition. And that coalition, I question whether it will find a home next time around, because Donald Trump is a unique motivator of voters. They do not turn out if he's not on the ballot. We've seen this. Now, the Republicans have an advantage in that the congressional ballot looks better. Trump's first term, Democrats were ahead by double digits, about +10 at this time in history. Today, it's +5. So Republicans are in a better position. But without Trump on the ballot, they have a struggle. That is why each and every candidate should take the Trump message. He's his own best messenger. I would just say on the immigration issue, he came out and he said, look, this Renee Good lady was probably a nice lady. I can see both sides, but I stand behind ICE. He was the best messenger on this issue. So follow President Trump's lead, and it'll take you to the promised land, as we've seen for 2 huge election wins.
Yeah, and of course, beyond 2026, there's a big question as to where, who is able to harness that very, very important political machine.
Yep.
As always, so great to see you, Kayleigh.
Thanks. Good to be here. And
be sure to catch Outnumbered today at 12 Eastern, and be sure to watch Saturday in America tomorrow at 10 a.m. As always, great to see you.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.